Hey guys, this is Lindsay with the Country Note. We are here with the one and only Mr. Don McLean.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Good.
Good. Okay, so you were in Nashville all week because of the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum. You have your own exhibit.
Yes, they're going to have a guitar and some lyrics, most especially the manuscript from Vincent, which has got like 15 pages, and it's a lot of,
Like a legal
as
pad,
a work
right?
in progress as I was writing the songs. I've never been out of the house, so Alan Stoker, who's a head curator, I think he is, at the museum, and I are friends because I knew his father, Gordon Stoker, was in the Jordanaires. And, you know, I just out of the blue called him up one day. I said, what, you guys want a guitar for your museum? You know, I mean, I'm not country, but I'm close. And he said, let me find out. So he called back and said, actually, they want to do more than that. Hey, I'm delighted. Lovely thing.
So the guitar was one that you played.
Yeah, it's a Don McLean Martin guitar. They only made 71 of them. It's part of their signature series. And it's one of the first. And I probably use it on the road for 20 years. And so that'll be there also.
Oh my gosh. And then it's so fascinating to me. Like, I can't wait to see this manuscript because, you know, I feel like now in today's technology, you don't have that anymore.
That's right.
Everybody writes, you know, they pull up their iPads or their
That's
phones
right.
or their recorders, and I think, if you have a huge song in 30 years, how are you going to know
It's
how
all
it
lost.
progressed? It's all lost.
Yeah, I started in the 60s. Anything I wrote, I threw the scratch pages in a box. And I have most of it. I have a lot of the stuff from the first album I made called Tapestry, and a lot from American Pie and Don McLean and The Homeless Brother and Prime Time and Headroom, different albums I made through the years. And at last I'm coming out with a new album called Botanical Gardens, which is going to be on BMG Records, and they actually paid me a lot of money, so I think they're actually going to, you might actually hear something about this one.
That's awesome. Do you still write? When you write, you still are the
Yeah.
legal pad
yeah,
thing?
I threw all the stuff in the box, you know.
Wow. You're out of New York. So,
Actually, I live in California.
okay, you live in California now, but you started playing in clubs in New York.
That's right, yes.
So how did you, how are you tied to Nashville? I mean, obviously, being a songwriter.
Well, I'm more tied to Nashville than any place, and it started in the late 70s. I came and recorded 2 albums with Larry Butler, and I hadn't had a hit since the mid-70s, and all of a sudden I had a #1 records, about number 4 or 5, it's number 3 on some charts, of Roy Orbison's song Crying. So it was #1 all around the world. And then Castles in the Air we re-recorded, and it was a top 10 record. So, you know, I did 2 albums with Larry Butler. I should have done more because the guys were great. But I got to work with these musicians. At the same time, I took a number of the musicians and the Jordanaires to England, and we recorded a TV special for the BBC called Don McLean and Friends. And then I always stayed friends with all of those musicians and met more as I went along. And I had a great legal representation here, which has been with me since 1980 something. So everything started to come out of Nashville. Today I have a 5-piece band. They all fly together from Nashville wherever I'm going, and I get there on my
so
own.
they're all based out of
And
here.
we've been doing this for more than 20 years now.
And Nashville is, you know, it's obviously a music city, and most people always think country, but the thing is, all kinds of music is here. Elvis and Etta James and Bob Dylan, and
That's
I mean,
right,
it's
I know
literally
it.
everything.
And the thing is, they know about harmony. You know, you can still find a Foursquare male harmony group that knows how to sing, you know, like the Jordanaires did. They've all passed away now, but you know, you can find great singers who know how to do this, and good acoustic guitar players. And you know, it's not hard to find electric guitar players, although the great ones are in Nashville, but it's really pretty tough to find the good, you know, flat top guitar picker, and they're here also. So It's got everything, and I don't have that.
So let's talk about your songwriting process. So when you're sitting down and you're writing a song, do you have other co-writers? Is it because now the way that it works, in Nashville, if you don't know, people, they make appointments and they go into these writers' rooms and there's 2, 3, 4 people, whatever it is, and sometimes somebody comes up with a hook and I don't know, sometimes I feel like you almost lose that authenticity because it's almost like a forced write, you know what I mean? As opposed to like the way that you write. Like how is that process for you?
Well, I'm an inventor, and I really only write alone. I wrote a few songs with Vip Vipperman, who was my guitar player, but they were mostly his songs that I worked on and helped him with, and I'm going to take half of. No. But no, I worked with him on those because he is a very good songwriter in his own right, and he just asked me to do it, and I love him, and I love doing it. But normally I don't do that. I work by myself, and I have a concept for something, and then I write a whole different song. Like, Vincent is not the same as Magdalene Lane, or it's not the same as Castles in the Air. They're all different. Tapestry is different from American Pie. So I have a whole different concept for almost every song that I do. And it's slow going. I don't really, run off a lot of Don McLean type songs because there is none.
Right.
So that's also been extremely confusing for the public.
Yeah.
We never could figure out what I was doing. Sometimes didn't know one song was the same guy who did the other song.
Right.
Because the commercial rule is to do everything pretty much in the same zone. And now it's gotten ridiculous. I can't tell one song from the next. I really can't.
Don't worry. You're not alone in that boat.
I hate to say it, but it's true.
Yeah.
There's a slight identity sometimes. I would say there's more songwriting going on in Nashville than any place else, though. The other stuff going on in different parts of the country is just not even music.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about American Pie, because every phrase and everything from like the pink carnation to the slow dancing up into like the helter skelter kind of thing, and it's such a progression from, because you wrote it in 1970, and Buddy Holly died in the plane crash in 59, and his wife, he was newlywed, his wife was pregnant and had a miscarriage.
Maria Elena.
And so to see that progression, that song literally spans, a decade basically of 59, 50s up until...
It's supposed to be timeless.
Which it is.
It's an allegory, like out of the Bible or something. It's a poem. It's a dream. It's a lot of different things. This is why I don't get specific about talking about what everything means, because I was always trying to titillate as I went along. But the idea was that that politics and music are parallel, moving forward. This is my concept. And really, if you look now, you've got Lady Gaga and Donald Trump. So it's still moving forward parallel. Whatever people like in show business terms, they seem to like in political terms. So, when we had Kennedy and later on Johnson, we had a political environment and the songs were political. And it moved like that. So that's basically it.
When you wrote that, were you writing for the masses? Were you writing, or you were just, that was what was going on in your head?
I just got extremely lucky. That's all. I'm lucky is all it was. You get in the ring with a badass fighter and you got a lucky punch. That was what happened. I'm not a commercial songwriter. I've had more success than most people who try to be commercial, because I've had probably, 10 songs that have been in the top 20, 3 number ones around the world, and albums that have sold very well, best ofs that have really sold well.
Yeah.
Idea.
Yeah. And American Pie in 2017, so just last year, it was actually picked by the Library of Congress. It's in the National Recording Industry Registry, which is one of only, I think it was 500 songs.
That was this year, and that was a surprise. I didn't, you never know what they're thinking. I mean, either they're wiretapping you or they're planning on giving you an award. I really don't know what they're thinking right now. And that's saying something.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you so much for taking your time to
My
chat
pleasure.
with the Country Note, and congratulations. I can't wait to see this exhibit.
Good. Well, thank
that
you.
manuscript, I'm telling you, it doesn't happen anymore.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And
Country Music Hall of Fame, right in downtown Nashville. It's an amazing place. They have, all kinds of, artifacts and 3 stories. It's worth seeing. So make sure you check it out. Don McLean right here. Keep it here on the Country Note for all the latest on your favorite artist. See ya.